on Nova 100.
Good morning, Melbourne. You're on the air with Jase and Lauren Clintz here as well. We grew up with Savage Garden.
Sure did.
This man then peeled off to do his own solo career, and we love that just as much as well. And he is back with his own memoir, which is out now. Darren Hayes, good morning and welcome to Nova.
Thanks for having me.
Darren Hayes.
It's lovely to see you.
So I've got history with Darren.
Before you get to that, I'm not
Hey,
interested
listen, we were
in the
never going to
history.
talk about that.
Oh,
And also,
yeah.
I was very confused about my sexuality.
I've got a compliment. You're the best smelling guest we have ever had in this studio.
That means a lot to me.
He looks
Are you a
and smells
perfume
clean.
mixologist?
I am. I'll tell you the truth as to why I smell good, though.
Right.
It's part of a thing that I think that anyone who is slightly famous should do, which is leave an impression.
Oh, my gosh.
Good attitude. Unlovable is the memoir that's come out.
Yes.
I was going to bring up, we've got history because I've interviewed you numerous times over the years. In fact, when I was a young fella, I was at the big ceremony in Brisbane, growing up on the main streets of Brisbane.
At the Keys to the City?
Yeah, the keys to the city, Savage Garden, were given back in the day.
Do you need to get into a building?
I don't actually know what they do. But
What do they do?
I can get into most people's homes.
Great.
It's like a universal.
And is it a
7-Eleven.
12-month thing, or do you get to keep them for the rest of your life?
Yeah, it's hilarious. No, there's
It's
no
ridiculous, isn't it?
It's just like a wooden plastic thing that they present to you.
But growing
you
up
like
in
the
Brisbane, it was the
unofficial
biggest
mayor?
thing.
Yeah, my book launch in Brisbane is at that same town hall.
Is it really?
And I
Go,
haven't
Jase.
been there since I got the keys to the city.
Will it be trauma?
No, it was an extraordinary thing.
Yeah.
So the memoir,
Yes.
was it cathartic?
Yeah, of course it was. I had never planned to write a book. I don't consider myself a celebrity. It's not a celebrity memoir. It really is a book about overcoming trauma. I grew up in a family, which I wrote about in Savage Garden and all throughout my career, but no one really put the pieces together. The song,
I think we don't. You
No.
know, we hear
yeah.
pop stars and these amazing musicians like yourself write these incredible songs, but you sing along to it. You
Yeah.
don't really think about the trauma or the story behind it, right?
Sure, like Two Beds and a Coffee Machine is a song from Famous. Look at me, so I've got tickets. But it's a song from Affirmation about me, my mum, my sister, my brother being on the run, living in hotel rooms with 2 beds and a coffee machine,
Wow.
running from my dad. And people at the time used to say, "God, that song's so sad. Who is it about?" Back then, I was so ashamed I couldn't tell anyone who it was about.
Ah,
But
so what did
later-
you say? How did you answer that question back in the day?
I think I avoided it out of respect for my mum, who was so brave in letting me put that song on the record. But this book came about because for my last album, I think, I'm 52 now, and I had and have lived with a severe depressive disorder and PTSD from my childhood all my life. And I've had great treatment for it, but I did an article in the UK, which was a childhood picture of me, and I was 10, sitting on my bed, picture of Michael Jackson on the wall, and I looked like a happy little kid, and I wrote the story behind the picture, which was that nobody knew the horrors of what was going on in my home. And I had 2 book offers.
Wow.
And one of them was thankfully from Penguin Australia, and they said, "Would you write that story?" And I guess I was ready to. I was
That's what I was about to say. Back then,
Yeah.
when you were asked about it with the song, you probably just weren't ready
No.
as well.
It's so interesting because I know people who have not the same story as you. No one's got the same story, but a similar story.
Many people do.
And kids carry so much weight protecting their parents from, like you said, the embarrassment of it.
Yeah.
And wearing this shield because you didn't want your mum to feel embarrassed about what your family was going through must have been such a burden. And you're certainly not alone in that, right? There will
No.
be families listening to this right now that know, oh my gosh, that's me. I would hate for people to know what my mum goes through.
Yes.
But being able to speak about it so truthfully and honestly is so powerful.
I dedicate the book to my mum. I mostly wrote this because I think the thing I care about most in the world is women and violence against women. I know in this country it's a pandemic. It's there are so many women who are murdered by their disgruntled partners. What saddens me about this book is that back in the 70s when we were dealing with this, there were no laws to protect my mom. She couldn't leave my dad. He was an ex-police officer. When she went to the police, they all just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there are laws about it now, and people are still stuck.
And they're still being murdered. Women are still being murdered. That's the thing that it really, really moves me. So yes, this book, a lot of it is about me, but it's really about women because my mum was such a victim, and it's about breaking cycles of abuse.
I want to say kudos to you because just by opening up and telling this side of your story, you would be helping so many people more than you'll realise.
I really want to, and that's the whole gist of the book, like it was scary to lift that veil and be so vulnerable.
How are you now, mate?
Really joyful, really happy, yeah.
We're going to come back more with Darren Hayes on the other side of this here on Nova. We are hanging out with Darren Hayes this morning. Truly, madly, deeply. Do you still get into that?
I've never stopped singing the songs. I don't know that the general public ever knew that because the breakup of the band was just so messy.
See, I find, as a true fan, I find it's like you guys don't even talk now, do you? You and
no,
Daniel?
He was incredibly unkind to me, and he didn't tell the truth when the band broke up, and I got blamed.
Do you think there's any chance
I'll just stop you there. No.
Even if he reached out?
No, because he has reached out several times and offered to go on the record and kind of apologize. What he did to me was public.
Right.
Look, no one wants to hear about that stuff. Fans want to just hear songs.
I got something joyful to play you.
Yeah.
You'll love this. This was doing the rounds online. This got me.
We love this.
This got me. Okay, so this is Football Hooligans. This is a whole full pub choir.
Gives me goose.
I love you more with every breath, truly, madly, deeply do. I will be strong, I will be faithful.
It's so good.
Faithful.
All these English footy fans.
Here we go.
Hard men.
I love it. Arms around each other.
Little out of key,
Gives
some of
me
them.
goosebumps.
Do you know what's so sweet about this is because we've always been very protective of that song, but what happened was I think it was the World Cup was falling on Valentine's Day. And this was this amazing marketing ad. It might have been via Adidas or something.
Yeah.
But I just loved the message, and it was like, hey, love, I'm going to go to the footy. Please don't break up with me, but I love you. And these are real footy fans.
It's
Well,
great.
if you're protective of the music, you do not want to see videos of Lauren having a crack at karaoke night.
Yes,
Let
I
me tell you.
do. Everyone should sing.
It's good for the soul, isn't it?
Totally. It doesn't matter if you think you can't sing or whatever. Everyone should sing. It just makes you feel good.
What about if you think you can sing but you can't? Is that
Just
okay?
Who would do
Asking
that,
for a friend.
Lauren?
Asking for a
Who would
friend.
do
Asking for a
that?
friend.
Just
Asking
don't.
someone I know quite well.
Just don't have a career in it. Because that, I mean,
Don't do it
come
on the radio.
I haven't heard this, but I have just found out you released a cover of Last Christmas.
Oh my gosh, we must put this on rotation.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yes.
I got to meet George Michael.
Guys,
You got to meet George Michael.
We became somewhat acquaintances, and I adored
loved
him. And
George Michael.
this is gonna sound like a humble brag.
No.
but,
Go for it. It's George Michael.
So I sang this song, and then maybe 6 months later, was invited by Pavarotti to duet with him at Pavarotti and Friends.
Hang on, you did a duet with George Michael or Pavarotti?
Pavarotti. And
You're the friends.
I was the friend, single, and had to sing in Italian. And we
No.
sang
What
O
did you
Sole
sing?
Mio, O Sole Mio.
Oh my god,
Of
I don't know
course.
what that is.
It's the go-to.
But I pretend that I do.
Sole Mio. It's that.
Oh, that one! I know that
So
one.
here's the deal.
I was going to do the next
Pastor ad.
bit.
We go to Modena in Italy. Guess who's on the bill? Tracy Chapman, Annie Lennox, George Michael, and Daryl Haynes from Soundgarden.
That's
Right?
extraordinary.
And I'm thinking, total imposter syndrome, whatever. Pavarotti,
And Pavarotti.
And
Pavarotti
Friends.
couldn't have been nicer. Yeah, the Friends were Aqua.
Yeah.
Aqua,
Aqua on the
as
bill.
in I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah, but
What did they sing with
A
Pavarotti?
really traditional
Surely not.
song. And actually the lead singer, whose name, forgive me, I can't remember. She's a
Yeah.
beautiful person and has a great voice. But here's the deal. The other guy was like, come on, Barbie, let's go. Don't know if he can sing.
So Pavarotti didn't sing
Gay-
Barbie Girl.
No. He gave me singing lessons.
Pavarotti.
He took the key and he raised it 5 semitones because he was like,
Oh.
in Spanish, I'm sorry, in Italian, he kept saying, no, you're a tenor. I was just like, oh, Jesus, whatever. But anyway, then George is on the same show and he walks up to me and he goes, "You sang a song of mine, didn't you?"
George did.
And I'm like,
George Michael knew about it.
Yes.
Just walked up. Are you here for royalties?
And I just went, I sat there frozen and he went, "I quite liked it." And he gave me a little wink. Little wink from George. And I could breathe.
Oh my God! Because when he said it, were you like, "Oh my God, is he going to
he wants me
savage
to write-
garden my song?"
Yeah,
write a
because you know
check.
what? I once did a Prince cover. And you know how Prince reacted to that?
Didn't like it.
He, not only did he not like it, he said, "Please burn all copies."
What song was it? What song was it?
Wow.
It was a live recording on a DVD.
Can we find it on YouTube?
No, you actually can.
Yeah, find
look
it.
for the
We
Prince
must find
cover.
it.
It was my song Popular mashed up with Baby I'm a Star. And
Please burn all. Was that in a voice note or an email? Or
it was. I don't know how he communicated.
letter.
I think it might have been at that point through invisible ink because
Yeah,
he didn't have
yeah,
a name at
yeah.
that point. But yeah, we had filmed it in like HD cameras. It was a DVD about to come out, and I was so proud. And it was like, "Here, have 100% of the royalties." And he went,
Burn it.
"Burn all copies."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I could imagine him saying that.
So-
And you know what?
In his little high
You know what?
heels.
Kudos to him. He's a genius.
I love.
Yeah, but it's
I
no
love
Last
the
Christmas.
artist formerly known as Prince.
He's a genius, and I
yeah.
miss him terribly.
Well, so are you, sir. Darren Hayes' new memoir, Unlovable, is available now. It's
you're
very good
so
to see
lovable.
you.
Hey, it's great to see
So
you too.
lovable.
Yes.
So lovable.
Thanks, guys.
And you
And-
smell absolutely divine.
I'll be emailing through the concoction later on.
And I
Please
will
do.
reply with videos of Lauren hacking your song at karaoke.
Love it.
Gonna be a good day. Jason Lauren. Jason Lauren.
Wake up feeling good.
On Nova 100.
Jason Lauren.
Follow them on socials.